healthcare.gov. The relaunch, part 2. December 1st, Zients, leading the tech surge for the Obama administration, making a statement. You can go online and read the statement. Points to a number of metrics. One, 50,000 unique visitors at once. That's the ambition of the relaunch of healthcare.gov. 800,000 per day. Also, we're told in that last dark period of 12 hours, when the fixes were being put into the information technology system, the code, we're told that there were 50 bugs. 50. That was named by Zients. All right. Those are the metrics that we got on December 1st. The morning of December 1st, CNN cleverly goes on and gets frozen out, blocked out. Fine. We wait 24 hours. Now, within these last hours, I just talked to Charlie Ornstein of ProPublica. Charlie failed to get on when he tried, chatted, failed to get on, failed to get satisfaction. And then he was on a conference call, nationwide conference call, all the major journalists covering. ProPublica is one of the major journalists covering healthcare.gov. And he learned that there's no time for the front end because the concern at CMS, that's the machine inside the machine at HHS, inside the Obama administration, their concern is the back end. Clock is running. December 23rd is the deadline. Everyone who's had their insurance canceled or believes they've signed up needs to have everything confirmed by December 23rd. There's one less day now. Francis Rose of Federal News Radio, In Depth with Francis Rose each afternoon, and Salena Zito of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review join me because this is not now just an information technology challenge. This is not now just a question of Congress is investigating. This is a race. 21 days left for all the people without insurance, all the people who want insurance, all the people who are eligible to get on a site that today, we're told, couldn't handle more than 30,000. Francis, I begin with you because you have been chronicling your opinion for weeks now that information technology and the federal government do not mix. What do you hear in these facts now, Francis? Do you hear the federal government responding to the concern here, or do you hear more of the we'll get to that aspirational talk that we saw in the first 4 to 6 weeks of healthcare.gov? Good evening, Francis.
Good evening, John. Well, I have to say my colleagues that study this stuff for a living and the people who work with the vendors that sell to the government and work with the government itself are telling me today that they're astonished that the site works as well as it does in this short period of time. So they're offering credit to the White House and to CMS and to HHS for getting it to perform as well as it did, because if you think back to October 1st, there's no way they could have even handled 30,000 people if that's the number that they... That's what
CMS said today. The site froze at 30,000.
And that was not even approachable October 1st. So the fact that they've made an incremental gain, although they didn't hit their goal, is, in the eyes of a lot of the people that I talked to today, worthy of credit, even though it's not anywhere near what it needs to be, John.
Francis, you're a lucky man. You have children. And you know that in kindergarten these days, there's a lot of give medals to everybody, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Is that what's going on here, Francis? Are we giving medals to everybody who tries?
There may be an element of trophies for everybody, John. But the bottom line is that this is still not going to collect the information in such a way to get people to the end result, which is to get them health insurance. Getting the website to work and getting the information on the front end to work with the information that's required from the back end of the system isn't the point. The point is to deliver health insurance to people who can't get it or don't have it, and we're still apparently a long way away from that.
Salena Zito is in Pittsburgh. She's looking at this from Western Pennsylvania. That is not inside New York or not inside Washington, which is always a fresh opinion. Salena, this is a political dilemma right now because there are 21 days left for everybody to get signed up who needs health insurance. It could be into the millions. I don't know. The last time I checked, the cancellations were in the millions, and then we have the Medicaid, and then we have the state sites. There's a lot of confusion here. But the Obama administration today, CMS call said, yes, the problems with the back end haven't been solved. Do they have enough time, Salena, politically? Can they solve this by Christmas? Or are we all going to turn off and stop listening to the boasting and pick this up again in January? What's your sense of proportion here?
Well, here's what I think. Based on the people that I spoke to today, and I had a couple people out there who have, gone back and forth with me saying that they're trying to sign up, that they need to sign up, that they've lost their insurance. One woman I spoke to today spent 3.5 hours online. Twice it crashed her entire computer. And she, has a Mac. It's not like she's sitting there with, something out of the dark ages. And she chatted several times and felt that while the people were nice, her exact words were willfully uninformed. And she did actually, after 3.5 hours and several crashes, was able to finally sign on, but she is completely unclear as to whether she did purchase healthcare or not. There was nothing that indicated to her that the transaction had been completed.
Did she make a choice? Did she choose a plan and tell the person or tell the machine she wanted this plan?
Yes, but then everything disappeared at the end.
Oh.
So she has no idea if she's truly signed on or not. And see, this is sort of the problem. And it's December 1st, and I know we have 21 days. But that 21 days sort of collides with the normal panic time of Christmas and holidays and, getting all these things together with your children or with your parents or with your traveling and, all the things that go along with the holiday season. And it's going to escalate the signing up along with that panic time. And I think that it's not going to be incredibly good for those that back Obamacare. I've talked to several IT professionals, people that run sites that handle millions of people every day. And while Francis is reporting that he believes that they've made good progress, I'm not hearing that from people out here, people that have dealt with the government, who have had contracts with the government, and who just deal with commerce through the internet. And they just think, they believe that this is not moving fast enough, and the proper kinks are not fixed well enough to be able to handle the back end, which is then the experience that the woman I talked to today was she doesn't know if she has anything. She doesn't know if she bought anything.
Right. I want to make the distinction back end, front end. Front end, as I understand it, is the website you sign on to. That's right. The very bright lights of healthcare.gov. That's where you go through the screens and give your information, answer questions, and apply for supplements if you need one, or apply and tell what plans you want. The back end you cannot see. The right. Back end is what connects to the insurers, where the purchase actually happens. And there's no transparency there. And Francis, I want to turn to you on this. That lack of transparency, I'm unfamiliar with dealing with government programs. Is this typical that you can't see into a program, that you can't see what's actually happening? Is that something you've had experience with in other big launches or other departments of the government?
Yeah, that's one area that people tell me, John, is significantly different than what you would find in the private sector. First of all, in the private sector, there wouldn't be an assumption that you would be able to look at all of this stuff and have an understanding of it. There is in the government, because people say, well, taxpayers are paying for this, right, and we should be able to look at it. But in a system like this, the potential exists for so many breaches of privacy. You don't want people snooping around and figuring out how all of this works, because that's what leads to hackers then being able to figure out how to get get in and steal everybody's personal information. So there is an element of privacy, and there are, in fact, laws regarding privacy and disclosure of information that prevent some of the transparency that some people think would be helpful here to understand exactly what's going on.
Well, there's a sense, Francis, and you and I talk about this all the time, that we're not being told something because we're being manipulated. That's the feeling I have. This back-end call that took place with CMS this afternoon. There's no plan B, Francis. What government... I'm thinking again. I watched Saving Private Ryan over the weekend because I enjoy the opening scenes. D-Day had a plan B, Francis. That was a big operation.
Well, and John, that kind of meshes with something that Salena said a moment ago that I think is really interesting, and that is she referred to the person that she was talking about as not being sure whether that person has bought health care or not.
Right.
The people are coming back. Congress is back in town today, and members are coming back, and I'm hearing from Capitol Hill today, Democratic members are coming back and saying we've already lost the dialogue on this because people have it in their minds that whether they need health insurance or not, or whether they need to buy it on the exchange or not, the thing doesn't work. The system doesn't work. The Affordable Care Act doesn't work.
Francis Rose of Federal News Radio, Salena Zito, the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, and we wish that woman you spoke of, Salena, very well. But right now, there's no confidence whatsoever on the back end. She's going to have to pursue her application. I'm John Batchelor.